All right, percent review guide part 2. Tax tip markup and discount. In number 17, Aiden bought 2 belts for $15.95 each. He bought a shirt for $24. And he bought a sweater for $49.50. I know if I'm going to have to find a total bill, I'm going to have to be adding these amounts up. So I'm going to take my $15.95 and I'm going to multiply that to get my 2 together. And then I'm going to add my 24 and my $49.50 to get the $105.40 for his total. Now I have to find the tax on that. I'm going to go ahead and show this as a percent proportion with a 7% tax. So I get 100x equals 737.8. And I divide by 100, and that's going to give me just my tax. Careful with rounding. 7.378 is going to go to 7.38. So $7.38 is going to be added to the $105.40 to get a total bill of $112.78. Going on to problem 18. A local clothes store bought a shirt from a factory for $12 and they marked up the original price 115%. Immediately I see that percent sign and I know 115 goes over 100. I know the total amount for the shirt is $12 and I'm finding the part that is the markup. So I'm doing 100x equals 12 times 115, which is 1380. And I'm going to divide by 100. And I get x is equal to $13.80. So that is my amount of markup. And then I'm going to add that to my $12 shirt. So the marked up price on the shirt is $25.85. Number 19, a family's total bill at a local restaurant was $56.37 and they wanted to tip the waiter 20%. Again, there's that percent. So I'm going to put it over 100. The total bill was $56.37 and I want to find the tip separate and then add that to the total. So there's my 100x again. And then $56.37 times 20. It's 1127.4, and I divide that by 100 and I get a tip of $11.27. It ends up being 11.274, but with rounding that 4 is not going to do anything to the 7. So we're going to take our $11.27 and we're going to add it on to the total bill of $56.37. And that's going to give us $67.64. All right, last one in the tax tip markup and discount. This one, Ann wants to buy a new computer. She sees an ad for a $600 computer that's on sale for 20% off. She has $500 and she wants to know if she has enough money. So the first thing we have to do is we have to say, all right, there's that 20%, goes over 100. And we want to find the discount first. So of her $600 marked computer, we're going to find the discount. So 100x, we multiply 600 times 20, and we get 12,000. And then we divide by 100. It's like crossing off those 2 zeros. And we get a discount of $120. Be careful what you put on these lines, though. It asks for the discounted price, so you need to take the $600 and subtract the $120 to know what she's going to pay. And you find out that she's going to pay $480. If Ann has $500, does she have enough money? Yeah, she has $20 more than she needs. So the answer here is just going to be yes. All right, last section to go over, and that is our section on simple interest. There's only 2 of those. So let's talk about 21. Tim borrowed $18,000 to buy a car, and he borrowed it for 4 years at a 3.5 interest rate. And we want to know how much interest he will pay if he pays off the loan at the end of the 4th year. Basically taking all 4 years, just the interest. So interest equals principal times rate times time. So we have our principal amount of money, which is the borrowed money of $18,000. Our rate has to be changed to 0.035. And our time is in years, which is good. Makes it nice and easy. We put that 4 in there. So we're going to take $18,000, careful with those zeros in your calculator, and we're going to multiply it times 0.035. I'll show you the in-between step here. That should be 630. And then you multiply by 4, and your interest is 2,520. Put the .00 on or leave it alone. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. All right, number 22. Hattie borrows $10,000 for 2 years over 6 months, and she, if she repaid a total of $11,200 at interest rate, how much did she borrow? So this one's a little different. So again, she borrows $10,000 for 2 years and has 6 months to build an addition to her house. If she repaid a total of $11,200, at what interest rate did she borrow that money? So we don't know the interest rate. So that's your R. Your R is what you're missing. We know she borrows $10,000. That's your principal. So let's get rid of this one number at a time. We already said, hey, we don't know the rate, but we do know for 2 years and 6 months. So 2 years, 6 months is 0.5 of a year. So we know the time is 2.5. And then she's going to repay a total of $11,200. This is the tricky part. The $11,200 represents the principal and the interest. We need to take away the principal to find out that she pays an interest of $1,200 to put in over here for the I. That could be pretty tricky. This one is a little bit challenging. Okay, so the $1,200 represents the amount of just interest. So remember, I is just interest. So let's simplify this right-hand side. 10,000 times 2.5 gives us 25,000. Check your work. 10,000 times 2.5, 25,000. R. 1,200 on the other side. This is by far one of the more tricky ones that you have done. These cancel themselves out. And so we have 1,200 divided by 25,000. And this gives 0.048. And we talked about this in class. I kind of forewarned you about this. This has got to be a percent, and that's a decimal. So the rate ends up being, once we move it 2 places, 4.8%. Very, very tricky. This is definitely the most difficult, mostly because of this part right here where you have to take away the principal from the total she repays to just get your interest. All right, so that is your entire review guide. Please make sure that you use this and that you make that note card. Some key points to the note card would be putting all those formulas from your note packet, like is over of, part over whole, change over original, anything with tax tip, markup, and discount, and the formula for simple interest. Please let me know if you have any questions.